Hey guys, how you doing? This is Andrew Sims with the Sims Consulting Group, and today on this Sunday Servant Leadership, man, we're going to talk about something that kind of piggybacks off of the conversation that we had on Wednesday on Wisdom Wednesday, and today we're going to talk about corporate character, and I'm going to tell you a little story about an experience I had, kind of two parallel stories. I'm a business consultant, as you know. So I work with some pretty, some small companies, some medium companies, and I also work with large organizations. And the large organization that I work with in particular that I have in the back of my mind, I'm not going to give you a name, but it's a pretty large company that probably everybody's come in contact with in some way, shape, or form, right? And it's something to see when you walk into an organization and the character of the company is exuded at every level of the organization. What do I mean? Well, this company has a reputation for being pretty professional, courteous, just an excellent company across the board. And this is nationwide that they have this reputation. And what happens is the way that organization maintains that reputation is by filtering that approach through every aspect of the organization, from the employees being treated, from the way the employees are treated by their leadership, the way leadership is treated by the senior leadership, the way the people at the locations, the franchises are treating their employees. It's all across the board that this courteous approach and this corporate character approach to how they run their business just permeates everything they do. So when we as the consumer walk into that organization and we want to transact business with them, right? It's only natural for them to treat us that way. It's not like there's one thing going on in the background, right? And they're bickering, they're fighting. There's a lot of division. There's a lot of issues in the background, and then they come out and put on this front that this is who they are, and they're really not that person. That comes off to us where it's sometimes where the service is up and down. Some days you get great service, some days you don't get any. You get horrible service. Um, and the main difference I see from working with this and doing some consulting work with this particular organization was, like I said, how the corporate character, the corporate image, or the corporate approach, right, permeates everything they do. So let me share this experience. So me and my family, we went out of town, right? We wanted to get away, have a good time, man, and kind of just enjoy each other, right? That's important when you're working as much as I do, as much as my wife does. It's important to make sure that you get away with your family to spend time with each other, man. Just forget about everything that's going on. And a lot of times, it's better to change the scenery when you do that because it kind of refreshes everybody and is you're not focused on anything. You're not looking at your phone. You just with you and your kids, right? So needless to say, we went away and we get a text message. Hey man, somebody's parked in your driveway, and I'm like, somebody's parked in my driveway. I'm thinking in my mind, just send me a picture. Maybe a mistake, right? So I get the picture, and it's a vehicle. I have a pretty decent sized driveway, right? It's a vehicle parked in my driveway with no plates on it, no nothing. So I'm thinking, hey man, maybe one of my neighbors brought a vehicle, and had it towed to their house, and the tow truck driver just got the numbers confused. So we go back on. We have our vacation, right? So I get home, and the vehicle's still in my driveway. So I called the police and I say, hey, yeah, I mean, let me run. Here's the vehicle. They checked the VIN. The vehicle's not stolen. So maybe I don't know if it maybe it's not reported stolen at this point, but they checked the VIN number. Everything was clean. Somebody just left the vehicle in my driveway. So I'm trying to get this thing towed, man. I'm like, I need this vehicle out of my driveway because it's not a good looking vehicle. So even if it was a good looking vehicle, it ain't mine, so it don't belong on my property. So I finally, I get a company, and I'm not gonna name any names that say, hey, we'll come get your truck in this time window. Time window passes, nobody comes. I call them back, hey man, we had a couple things come up. We'll be there by X amount of time. Call them back, nothing. Right, so then I finally, they pick up the phone again. Hey man, we'll get you before X amount of time. Now, mind you, it's been a 9 hour time span, and just constantly keep making reasons why they couldn't get to take care of it, right? So finally, They don't pick up the phone. So I call another company because I'm a pretty patient person, right? I call another company. They're there, pick up the vehicle, 20 minutes flat, get it off my property. I say all that to say, what kind of an organization can you run where that is acceptable, right? How is it that we, like we said, we talked about the cashier last week, right? About at the particular organization where their 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 approach to what they did wasn't what it should be based on my experience, right? Just my humble experience. Um, but what happens when the company just has an overall bad character? And how does that translate into a company that stands the test of time? So I did some research and I looked at this company reviews, and this seems to be an MO of this organization. And I say to myself, man, as I go out and I'm transacting business with a lot with various people, projects and things like that, it's hard to find companies that simply just do what they say they're going to do, how they say they're going to do it. The level of integrity that's, or I should say the decline of the level of character and integrity is drastic, and it's worsening to me on a weekly basis. And I want to share something with you because what happens is when your corporation has no integrity, it cannot stand. When your corporate character is that of a, and let me say this, maybe there were better options, maybe there were better deals, maybe there were um, more lucrative things to do for the organization. What happens when those opportunities leave and now you're just left with your reputation and people don't want to do business with you? How do you as a company expect to stay? And this is why, as a consultant, there are a lot of companies that I don't work with. There are a lot of opportunities and projects I was able to be, you know, uh, approached by and for, and I don't deal with every organization because character and integrity from an organizational standpoint, from an individual standpoint, matter to me in business because who you partner with becomes a part of your business legacy. To the best of your knowledge, you want to partner with people that are integrous, that do what they say they're going to do, and that treat people correctly. Because if you do not, then people are going to assume you're the same way. I have a scripture that I want to go over. It's Proverbs 28, Proverbs chapter 28, verse 6 out of the English Standard Version. So that's Proverbs 28, verse 6. And it says, better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than a rich man who is crooked in his ways. Well, that's true from a spiritual aspect and from a natural aspect, right? Why is that true from a spiritual standpoint? Because even if you're not successful in this lifetime, right? Even if you live your whole hundred some odd years, man, and you never really make the cut, you live paycheck to paycheck, it's still better for you because when you compare those years to eternity and the blessings that you have and the rewards that you have in heaven for being a man of integrity, for trying to live this life the way God intended for it to be lived, there's going to be a reward for you that well outlast the little time you spent on this planet when you think big picture. From a business standpoint, your company has to be known for something. You could be known for the positive things that an organization can be known for, or you can be in the negative column. And you can be one of those businesses that even can survive to a certain extent in the negative column because maybe your price is better or something like that. But when people have another option, trust me, they won't choose you. And what happens is then you see people saying, well, buy this, buy American, buy this. I understand the concept, but you have to now still supply them with what it is that you say you're going to do, how you're going to do it. Because just them, people are not just going to do business with you in a global economy anymore. They have to have a reason, and quality should be that reason. Quality of service, quality of product, quality of approach, all these different things, right? So to have a company where they didn't call me, I called them, and then I got the update on where they stood as an organization. And from a consultant, that is shocking because it's everything that you're not supposed to do as an organization. And to see that this is a habitual approach of this organization is even further shocking because I'm assuming they're expecting to be in business for longer than just a couple of years. Now, I had a bad experience. And I don't, and this is why I did my research, because I don't want my bad experience to be, maybe it was just a bad dispatcher. Maybe it was just a hard pressed driver who really couldn't do what he was supposed to do. The integrity of the organization or the character of the organization should have said, pick up the phone and call. If that's something that you know your organization prides itself in, then it would have shown in the employee's approach to some degree. Even if they would have called me with a bad attitude, it would have still showed something about the character of the organization by picking up the phone and calling. So, better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than a rich man that's crooked in his ways. Don't look at the people that are being shifty and shady and doing things they're not supposed to do, but seemingly getting ahead, because that's not really the success you want. That success comes with looking over your shoulder. It comes with having a horrible reputation. And trust me, it's not a good thing being rich with a horrible reputation. It's horrible. I can imagine it's a really horrible thing to be very successful and people know that, for lack of better terms, you're full of garbage, right? Believe nothing you say. Can't count on you at all. Can't count on your organization at all. They begrudgingly do business with you. That has to be a horrible place to be, because that can't just be you in business. That's probably you in real life. So imagine the people that are around you, because you can't have integrity in one instance in your life and throw it completely all the way in another. That doesn't really make logical sense. Now, I have one last scripture for the believers, since this is Sunday servant leadership, and then I'll close, not close, but I'll end the discussion to a certain extent. And this Proverbs chapter 6, verses 16 through 19. It says, there are 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are an abomination to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that make haste to run to evil, a false witness who breathes out lies, and one who sows discord among the brothers. Is that the character of your organization? Is that the character of the people that you're around? Is that the character of the social media platforms that you've curated, where you run to see evil? You want to, what I'm saying to you is, what you take in really affects what you put out, and how you look at things really affect how you approach things. So be careful, because from a business standpoint and a personal standpoint, character matters. So when you're dealing with an organization, analyze the corporate character and decide whether that's an organization you want to be around. And when I say that, I mean, choose where you spend your money wisely. We as consumers have to rid the world of bad practice businesses, right? Businesses who just don't care, because they give all organizations a bad name. Now, I know we'll never get rid of all of them, but we have to make it a point to say, you can't do this and get paid by me. Once again, this is Andrew Sims with the Sims Consulting Group, man. Y'all be blessed. Y'all enjoy yourselves, man. Be safe this summer. Keep pushing. Peace.